this is the scary thing. The Supreme Court presently has 5 Roman Catholic judges. John Roberts, the Chief Justice, Antonin Scalia, Clarence Thomas, Anthony Kennedy, and Samuel Alito. Within the next 8 years or so, some of the more liberal judges on the Supreme Court, Justice Ginsburg, for example, it was just operated on for, I think it was pancreatic cancer. And so many of these more liberal judges are going to pass. What if we had 1 or 2 more Roman Catholics named to the Supreme Court? You say, well, the justices are red-blooded Americans, they're patriotic and they're really Christian. But Roman Catholicism teaches that your first loyalty is to the church. Whatever the church commands, that's what you do. Even if it means setting the civil power on the back burner, you always do what the church says. You see, the problem is many Protestants today are fascinated by the papacy. And the reason why they're fascinated by the papacy is because the papacy fights for human rights, it fights for the poor, it fights for morality, it fights for conventional marriage, it fights for religion in America, it even fights for religious freedom. And so Protestants in the United States say, well, this system has definitely changed. But I've looked in vain for any change in the teachings of the Roman Catholic Church. They have changed not one dogma. And as we looked at the book, The Keys of This Blood by Malachi Martin, he clearly expressed that the Roman Catholic papacy has the desire for geopolitical world power once again, as she had during the Middle Ages. In other words, she has not changed. She presents a new facade after Council Vatican II. But inside, she's the same. Behind the variable appearance of the chameleon, there is the invariable venom of the serpent. Now let me read you a couple of statements here from my favorite book on Bible prophecy, The Great Controversy. This, folks, was written over 100 years ago, what I'm going to read now. Over 100 years ago. And when it was written, the United States wanted nothing to do with the Roman Catholic papacy. It was a Protestant country. And nobody wanted anything to do with this system when she wrote this. But she said the following: in order for the United States to form an image of the beast, the religious power, notice, in order to form the image, the religious power must so control the civil government that the authority of the state will also be employed by the church to accomplish her own ends. Is that what happened in the Middle Ages? Yes, that's what the image would be. A replica or a copy of what existed in the Middle Ages. The church using the state to accomplish her purposes.